Hello, Record87 and welcome back to Grand Tactician of Civil War as we continue our Confederate playthrough, where over the last episode and a half we've been embroiled in this significant fight of St. Louis, one of the bloodiest, if not the bloodiest of the war. I must admit I've not been keeping tabs, but yeah, somewhere in the region of, I think it was 15,000 dead, of which we were the worst off, unfortunately. So obviously, as we jump back to the overview map, this goes back to the start of the battle, so these chaps will fight it over the next few days before we see where the Florida State Militia retreat to and see if we can disengage them and get them back down towards, probably all the way back down to Nashville to rest and recuperate, and then before we send them into the fray. That's not all that's happening, so you can see here the Army of Tennessee has made a move on Louisville. 19,000 Federals are currently being held up by our works at Fort Herwold. So the plan is going to be to take our Army of Tennessee, and we'll see who's got the best Army of Tennessee, and we'll relieve the city. We've just about captured Covington, which is good. Only downside here was that we are the river breaks our kind of immediate control radius, so the works of the fort have stopped. So we're going to have to come back up here after relieving Louisville to finish our defensive works around Cincinnati. So, slowly but steadily. Okay, and then in the east we've got Beauregard. I've just requested he recruit another division, so I'll bring his total up to 20,000 men. Again, not really a fighting army, but I might as well have the men here being trained. And we're actually going to try and do a little bit of a diversionary tactic. So once these fine men are here, which will probably take maybe a month or so, 26, 18, 17, 18, yeah, okay. Then, so I kind of, where's that going to put us to? May, so an early summer campaign. We're going to have PGT Beauregard come up, and I can't decide if he's going all the way into Pittsburgh. That's a sizable victory, or we just go to Cumberland, to be perfectly honest. Maybe we'll just go up and take Wheeling, since it is ours. I mean, it's irrelevant, right? Because the point of Beauregard's thrust here is not to seize territory or to take a city. The intent behind Beauregard's thrust is to pull a disproportionately large number of Federals away from Washington. So if I can send him up to, say, Cumberland, and he pulls away 30,000 Federals, then that might just open up a play for a push from our 80,000 very experienced, very well equipped Confederates. Everyone in Joseph East Johnson army, I believe, has rifled muskets. See if we can't finally go and crack the nut that is Washington DC. Now, it's hard to tell exactly what they have around here. It looks to be 5 armies, all about 20,000 to 30,000. So maybe 120 to 130,000 Federals around here. So if we can pull out, it's probably just going to be one army might oppose it, but if we look threatening enough where they pull out 2 armies, that's going to be best part of 40,000 troops, and his job's just going to be hold them on the field long enough for us to then push in with ours. So I'm quite looking for that. You have a new perk to get. What should we go for our army of the Shenandoah? River movement, maybe not. I don't think we need embedded reporters. We don't do so much skirmishing. I might, no, I'm probably going to do something which is for scouting. Oh, you've got the scouting. Well, you're level 3 for your scouting, okay. Maybe pontoon as we go over and across these little rivers. Don't really do forts marched. Oh, we could just do flying column, movement speed. Perfect. That seems like a solid choice. So that's what we're going to do. And then, of course, our fleet here, I've just ordered them back to port to make sure they're resupplied. So once we've maybe moved, once we've issued the order for Longstreet here to head down to Louisville, we'll go and maybe check in on the fleet before we engage in a battle. So let's unpause. I'll do another quick check of assignable policies. Oh, we can get an extra one on weapon production. Yes, please. Excellent. As that was a big factor in our loss, St. Louis was not having in the right gear. Right. You're about to flip red. Beautiful. So Army Tennessee, please make your way down to Louisville. You can absolutely take the boat. The rivers are ours. The other thing I was kind of interested in was maybe picking up some 5,000 raiding cavalry out of, we could base them out of Charleston, and we could just go and harass this area, because I don't think there's much of a Union presence. And we could do some terrorizing of their interior lines. So why don't we do that? Because it's not something I have played around with before. I'm interested to see how it goes. So if we go to manage army, and I also need to yes, increase the army to core. Right, okay, let's do some organization. So we're going to start by, let's create a new army in, well, that's Virginia, but I'm not sure where in Virginia you're going to end up. I'm a bit shy on the old volunteers as well. May need to enact some more laws. Okay, let's put you all the way down in Mississippi. Fine, right? I also want to replace you. Well, let's give my units in first. I think it's 2,500 troops we want for our larger cavalry brigades. Oh, there's loads more volunteers here. That was odd that they didn't all show. Right, Mississippi. We would like a large cavalry brigade. Let's go sky blue for our cavalry. Okay, perfect. Recruit, and then I'd like one more large cavalry brigade. So we're gonna have kind of 5,000 fine gentlemen. Texas is probably quite far away. Was there not one in like Louisiana? Yeah. Okay, good. Alright, that's absolutely fine. And then under here, why don't we see if we can find what Early is up to? Even if you're assigned, that's not a problem. Jubal Early, where are you? You're currently going to be... No, you well done. You are about to get... Can I bring you in here? I may have to find you and then remove you from command first. And then I can bring you in over here. Give me your current unit. Alright, we'll go find you. Florida State Militia. Oh, okay, you're currently in battle. Alright, so we're going to give a cavalry to Early here. Fine, so Randolph, are you about to get promoted? Perhaps. An undeserved promotion, but fine. Okay, and then we'll raise these troops, we'll put Early command, and they're going to send just a raid up in the Union rear. Perfect. Okay, it's a start. Right, we want to... I've issued that order to move, and I want to check in on my fleet. How you doing? What condition is everyone in? It's not the worst condition in the world. I'd say you're in good enough condition to go cause some trouble. Everything else is prepared. Perfect. So let's put your stance is going to be... Sorry, your fleet orders are going to be to raid. Good man. And then we're going to scoot up the coast, see if we can't engage with some of these smaller flotillas and alleviate some of the pressure or find Confederate soil there. Okay, you're still fighting. You haven't issued your move order yet. Things seem steady. Let's jump forward to speed. Oh, okay, we're heading down the river, so that's probably going to be the next large engagement we do. Yeah, before we get a river engagement. Okay. Alright, so we've got 30,000 men. Still claims it thinks it's going to be a Union victory, so we're absolutely going to assault them. It is middle of the night, so perhaps we'll wait until the morning. "6 AM, maybe we'll go for it." Alright, let's thrust them back and we can show what a slightly better equipped and trained army can do. So Fortune once again smiles on Longstreet as he's been put in a defensive position for this battle. And we're on the Perryville map, and we've been asked to defend just a point near Deep Creek. And I had noticed the Federals had an on-ramp down here, so perhaps I thought it'd come up via Perryville Road. But as I was kind of setting myself up to maybe defend along the hills near Wilson's Creek, I encountered apparently a whole bunch of Federals just positioned right here, and then obviously realised there's another on-ramp here. So, and last time we had this, where I didn't think they were going to be in this position, this is actually where they spawned in. So I'm tempted to set up, well, a mighty old ambush and just have a stupendous amount of fire on my line right from the off and see if we can't give them a resounding blow. So I'm gonna position my troops on the assumption that this is where the Federals are going to start, and we'll see what work we can get done from there. So let me just set up my troops. All right, so this is our setup. So hopefully it's going to be a bit of a bloodbath. So we've actually got I've even got a row of earthworks, and I learned a thing today. So if you take, when you're building your earthworks, I didn't know this. If you let's go with Permit, you can click on them to upgrade them. And then they build better firing ports, and then they put these, I forgot what it's called, but these defences at front. Now, inadvertently, I didn't mean to do this when I accidentally clicked on this one at the back, so it's a bit of an odd position and doesn't really make sense. However, that one in my knowledge bank for future battles. So, no, please, no more. It also meant I had been trying to line this up as an artillery position, and although they had good fields of fire, when I put the earthworks down, they then lost that field of fire. So my artillery is in a pretty poor position. However, infantry is doing well. Even at the front here, we've got some of the, well, you're not an example, but you are. You've lost a little bit. You used to had some arc of fire onto the Federal lines kind of from the hill behind. Maybe some of that's lost. But anyway, we've got a good, well-defended front row. We've got cavalry on this flank, which I plan to maybe sweep them behind, and then we've got full divisions on both our infantry flanks under Smith and Waitman, again to try and push in and harass the Federals. Now watch when we press play and they'll have moved, but we'll find out in a minute. Oh, hello. Oh, this is going to be a bad day for the Federals. Excellent. We're going to have our cavalry swing in like so. Yeah, that's fine. We'll have them push in on this flank. We're going to get Smith's division to right early doors start coming through these woods. Sweep round. Good man. And we are going to be absolutely millering these Federals. Oh! Feels like murder. But I wanted revenge after last time. Please bombard this position. If you can, come on. Can you go further back so we're not shooting our own men? And this bombard order is very finicky was the word I used to describe it. Alright, you bombard that position, that's okay by me. You're probably a little bit further back, but see if you can kind of... Yeah, if you can get there, that'd be great. Okay, they're breaking already because they're marching in front of well-entrenched men with good rifles, and they're just getting savaged. And hopefully my horse will, or my cavalry will move around and make either flank or pick off these units which are having a bad day. Now my only concern is we may not kill enough of them before they run away. Maybe that's not going to be a problem. There we go. They are just still pouring men forward, which is, I would say, is a dubious decision. If this is how they want to spend their time, I'm not one to question it. Cavalry's moving into position. Excellent. There's not much in the way of healthy brigades here. So I'm definitely tempted to press with these. Again, they still got pretty rubbish weapons. They're still on the mixed cavalry. I'd love to have them some maybe carbines and shoot from range, or some repeaters for on the charge, but as it stands, we will just have to make do. Actually, you're getting into a perfect position there. You guys are almost getting in the right place. Beautiful. In fact, Whiteman here, I think it's about time we pressed our advantage with the infantry as well. Excellent. How are we looking? 1600 dead Federals. That's a good opening start. Gentlemen are advancing, excellent. We've got some very experienced troops over here. Should make light work of this, especially as we'll reinforce them from the front as well. Now, can I just move you into these positions so you can actually fire? I should use the advance order, but I didn't. Likewise here, advance. Alright, let's start to squeeze them. You can probably change your bombardment. Wish you could, maybe as a way, I need to look at if there's a way you can kind of change what they're doing in one fell swoop rather than a stop-start, two-order step, but perhaps that's just the way it's got to be. They shouldn't last too long unless we get our cavalry into a local flank. Are these both mixed muskets? Yeah, okay. So we don't have the perfect kit out just yet, but there's enough rifled muskets to make it do, and we're taking advantage of the opportunity and the terrain as well. I'm tempted to charge in. I know it worked pretty terribly before, but given how shocked they are, and the fact the morale's already knackered, we may have an advantage we need here. I just noticed it's really early in the morning. I thought it was supposed to be like 6 when we started this. It's almost like we got an ambush on them. Yeah, do you know what? Let's see if we can't see these gentlemen off. I will use both of these brigades if needed. Maybe not even if needed. Ha! They've given up already. This is only going to be even odds of the two fights, which is amazing considering how one-sided this feels, but okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. This should be a good result. But more importantly, let's watch this glorious cavalry charge into the flank of a infantry brigade. You'd think that would break them. Yeah, there you go. If you can't force them from the field. Did you charge me? Oh. Okay, and they've been sent back, although at the cost of our own cavalry. And losses here are pretty light, actually 27, so that's okay. Excellent. You guys have got rifle muskets, you might as well continue to harass them. And we'll just use our cavalry to follow up. Alright, it's advance time. Why did you stop? How many of these men are there? Not that many. Oh wow, enough to break Preston apparently. Okay, they've fragmented. Although so are we. So we can't drive them from the field. Really? They got pushed back by 1,200 fleeing infantrymen. That's disappointing. And this is where I look back and find out actually our casualties have closed. Ah, okay, not really. We've actually... We caused quite a lot of casualties in the route. It's about 3k better to be good. Fine, fine. Alright, I think we'll pull back and we'll let Wynkoop and Von Stewart escape. A good day's work done. Let us not go too far. Beautiful. Okay. 50 guns, 4,000 Federals, lost 1,000 our own. I'll take it. I'll take it very much. Thank you. Alright, there we go. Another, say, 4,000 casualties and probably a couple of thousand rifles. Hopefully, some rifled muskets. Let me just quick check of what we've got in our stocks at the minute. Lots of zero. Just show me rifled muskets actually. Whoa, that's not very many. Okay, no, that's why. There we go. Yeah, still not very many. Okay, we've got enough Mississippis and Richmonds and Fayettevilles to kit out a few other people. That's good, and you can see our standardization is increasing, which will make them easier to produce as well. Excellent. Which army I'm going to put those in? I'm tempted to go back to Tennessee. Yeah, I think these guys feel like they're in a lot of the action. So why not give them a reward for doing well? Come back up to Cincinnati, please. Oh, actually, I should have said you can take the river. Let's manage your army. Let's see, there was a few who did not have the right weaponry, so let's give you that. You guys can get some Mississippis. That's odd. Come on. Rifle musket, mixed muskets. We don't want any of those, to be perfectly honest. Alright, I'll go and I'll finish doing this off camera, because I've had this little bug before where we've got to come out and then go back in. It takes an awful long time. It's very frustrating. Anyway, I'll go do that and we can come back at the end. Okay, upgrades in place. In fact, it's a really bad example because it's one of the few units which still have a smoothbore. So most of the infantry now have some variety of rifled muskets. It's a fair mix amongst the ones we've got between Mississippi, Fayetteville, Richmond and Springfield that we've captured, but it's a good improvement in firepower. In addition, we now have enough cavalry or weapons to outfit a whole division of cavalry, albeit with different weaponry. So we've got some Burnside carbines, some Richmond carbines, so these are all kind of longer range, they're about 350 yards, whereas these are only 200. And then we've got some Colt revolving rifles as well, which again I think about 200, but that should be pretty powerful if we can get these on a flank of a infantry brigade. A couple of thousand fast-firing revolving rifles will do a significant amount of damage. So I'm quite interested to see how they get on. So good, a good increase in firepower for that army as they head back north. Probably to tussle with someone else, no doubt. I'm also keen to see now what's happening. Over here. Well, actually, have we finished fighting over here yet? You need to run away. Don't want to come back to Cairo? No, let's come all the way back to Nashville. By the river. Good man. Are you... Okay, let's move you slightly closer. I'm sure there's someone here you're willing to tussle with. Flying Flotilla's not massively strong. This squadron's pretty low. Alright, sorry about the abrupt cut there, and as you may have picked up, just before I just put off, a minor domestic crisis was brewing. I had to go demand some attention. Yeah, so I need to step away. All is well, no, never fear. However, when I came back, I realised I didn't manage to actually press the pause button, and we have advanced in time, best part 2 weeks. So I'm afraid there's a little bit of a catch-up we're going to have to do with what's going on. So good news is we seem to engage with the Federals and come away victorious, inflicting some damage upon an Atlantic blockading squadron. Because our fleet has now returned to Charleston for supplies and has gained a couple of ships. We come down here, we can see we now have the Savannah and the Marion have now joined forces. I'll drop these off because they're a little worse for wear. Anyone want to pick up? Nah, just the steamers. Okay, you guys might spend a few days in port and then we'll maybe send you back out again. Of course, the bad news being we're going to get to see it, which is a bit frustrating. But you're quite badly beat up. Let's bring you... I'm going to bring a couple of these sloops in. This is fine, and you are going to be in port, yes? Turn to port. Good man. Get some repairs done. Yeah, bad news, of course. We're going to see it. Our glorious moment of triumph. And, why are you... is that... I wonder if that's a battle marker. Yeah, and we can get to witness it in all its storming glory. And it is momentous, because if you now look at the strategy map, in terms of naval tonnage, the mighty CSA outstrips the Union, 72,000 tons compared to 66. So we are well on our way for breaking this blockade. And I think I might want to be a little bit more... I might even be a little bit more aggressive about it in terms of not waiting for the fleet to completely refit itself. So maybe drop the CSS United States. It's a ironic name, that one. Into the ships in harbour, and even a Drury drop and just go with what we've got almost, because we have a quite frightening large number of guns compared to the Federals. I think we have an opportunity to keep kind of hitting them. So if I drop out, say, the lower percentage frigates, even your 49, we'll keep the 62 for just now. We hold that off, then I mean you've still got 300 guns. I mean it's just I'm gonna strip them. So maybe next time we go up, I wonder if we can 80 guns. Where's 100 guns? So they're about a par, so I think a few more hit and runs and we'll be able to kind of break this blockade, and then we'll be able to base our fleet in Norfolk again. And then we can go up and not only sink the Federal fleets up here, but we can start blockading them as well. And then I'll split off a few smaller fleets to start blockading their coast. How about that for a turnaround? Okay, other things, what's been on? Well, not huge amounts. We've got the Florida State Mission has retreated to Nashville, where it's licking its wound. The Army of Tennessee has appeared in Kentucky, so it's a threat we'll have to deal with. They're going to be recuperating themselves, but it's still annoying because I wanted free Kentucky. And our own Army of Tennessee is quite happily getting back to building the fort, 11 days time. And they're currently being facing off against the Army of Ohio with 31,000 troops just to their north. So a few, and there's another threat over here in terms of the Army of Kentucky, a little bit smaller. There's a few threats this army's going to have to deal with, and I would really like a bit of help. But we're not there yet. We're still waiting for Army of Virginia. So I think we don't have too much to do at the minute, apart from... oh no, there is one thing which I'd forgotten before and I want to do now. It was about turning this into a proper army. So if we go into Manage Army, and then if we click presumably this button, we'll upgrade the core to an army. Okay, Army of the Shenandoah. Good. How do I... Here's a question. How do I attach... Create a new corps below this army. Yes, that's what I would like to do. Okay, so you're a corps. I don't want use of it. Let's click my... Hang on. I would like to bring in, essentially, Dive Potomac and put them under this new corps. And I'm going to need another corps commander as well, and directly under Johnson. So, well, let's bring these over first. If I do this, okay, this should work. Yeah, nice. Okay. Although, am I going to still have 2 units on the map? I would have thought so. Hang on. Can I just do this? Yes, I can. Okay, cool. Right, can we close this down? Before anything changes, you all need to go back over here. Okay, so you're going to stay where you are. I mean, these can come under... I don't know who Walthall is. He does not feel like he deserves it. I mean, if anyone, it's going to be Anderson or our own man Hughes here gets the nod. Walton, Garnet. Oh, why don't we do this? Right, we're going to say... an absolute nepotism. I'm going to promote myself as well. So let's replace Requin with... Anyone got some experience? No. Okay, Ferguson. The lads are not going to like this. Let's assign you. We're going to go to Hughes. We're going to replace Hughes with myself. Excellent. And then we're going to replace Walthall with, if we can, Hughes. There we go. Congratulations. Promotion. And then we should be able to drop everyone under like so. Okay, and now we have the army of the... I don't like... No, Shenandoah. Yeah, that's fine. Well, let's unpause and see what happens. Appears not too much powerful fight. Look like they're coming to fight us. They are indeed. Okay. I think we might need to rename you, because you're not really the army of the... Potomac, are you? No, you're army of Shenandoah's 2nd Corps. Ah, here we go. Hughes' Corps. Well, we could do that, but I think I'm going to be a little bit like 1st and 2nd will do me for just now. Okay. Looks like 50,000 Federals are coming for Barney. I'm kind of okay with. It looks like more than 50,000 Federals. This looks like 100,000 Federals are coming for Barney. Oh boy. Why are you upset? Okay, 131, that's fine. We've got... so I think there is an actual army of Shenandoah in here as well, which is obviously just Joseph E. Johnson, bombing around on his own, and then we've got the 2 corps. I wonder if it's designed so you can have an actual, essentially a corps sitting under the army directly. Anyway, not worry about that, he's 12 hours away. Yeah, and we're up against 120,000 men, so odds of just shy of 2 to 1. But these are our most experienced, most equipped. And we have vastly outnumbered in terms of cavalry. Yeah, because we're about 80,000, 120. Okay, I'm very interested in how this is going to go. And I think this is going to have to be the subject of our next episode. It's going to be a doozy. Okay, yeah, so things are looking promising. A little bit besieged out west with the just sheer number of federal armies kicking about. Well, they're raising another 22,000 men there. Woof. I'd love to see what their overall numbers are, and I know I've seen it a couple minutes ago. But this is going to be a big fight. And may lead us after this to push, depending on the losses, to start moving away from volunteers if we can't afford to reinforce our men. Anyway, I'm going to call it to close there. So I hope you have enjoyed this one. Maybe a little bit shorter, but I think the next one might be a longie as we get into this duel. So I'll see you then. Cheerio!